National grid collapses for fourth time in 2024. Federal government talks tough amid backlash from $150 billion Samoa deal. Attempted murder of student unsettles Igabi community in Kaduna as parents demand justice. On the international scene, Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso turned their backs on ECOWAS, coup leader says. A very good afternoon and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I'm Sagir Ibrahim. And to details now, Nigeria's power grid collapsed again, with the country currently generating 0.80 megawatts of electricity. A check on the website of Independent System Operator, an autonomous arm of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, indicated that power plant's contribution to the grid began to decline around 2 p.m. to 2,797.16 megawatts from the average 3,417.99 megawatts around 1 p.m. The electricity contribution further declined to 1,020.08 around 3 p.m. before dramatically falling to 0.80 by 4 p.m. Reports say the 0.80 was generated by the Trans Amadi power plant. Confirming the collapse, the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company PLC said the incident occurred around 3:09 p.m. A public announcement signed by its head of corporate affairs, Emeka Eze, noted that the situation led to the loss of power supply. This will be the fourth power grid collapse in 2024. And earlier we had joining us via Zoom power sector expert Oyebode Fadikpe to talk on the grid collapse. Take a look.
I think with the state of our power supply in this country, grid collapse is no longer something that is strange to us. It has become a common occurrence in our power markets, and that's quite unfortunate. That's quite sad because Nigeria is supposed to be one of the countries where we are expected to look forward to greater stability in our power sector, but that has not been the case. Within a space of 6 months, we are in the 7th month of the year, we are talking about 4 grid collapses. That's quite unfortunate. In terms of implication, it readily shows that we have not mastered our power sector, or perhaps we have not done anything substantially to make sure that these major incidences of collapse are avoided. The other thing that you can see readily is that it has further eroded investors' confidence. It has further revealed the fact that the fragility in the sector is becoming more and more obvious. If we don't know what has given rise to this, the little information I have currently says that the collapse came from the southern part of the grid, but we still need to wait to get the full details of what must have given rise to this. So it's quite sad. It's quite unfortunate that our grid is still collapsing. Businesses are seriously affected. It has increased the cost of doing business for that short period or for the duration of the collapse. Don't forget the fact that customers are already complaining that those of them in Band A are paying so much as 209 naira per unit. And then we're talking of grid collapse. So it's quite sad and very disturbing. And I think it's not a story that is palatable to the ears, or that is sweet to speak about in the mouth.
Power sector expert Oyebode Fadikpe there talking to Chiamaka on the grid collapse. And moving on, the federal government says it will file a lawsuit against Daily Trust newspaper over its report on the signing of the Samoa Agreement. The agreement, which is alleged to have some clauses that compel underdeveloped and developing nations to support the agitations by the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community for recognition as a condition for getting financial and other support from advanced societies, has sparked a chain of reactions. Some clerics, rights activists, and civil society organizations in the aftermath of the report were furious over the decision of the federal government to sign the alleged controversial agreement. In his initial reaction to the story, the Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, had said any provision in the agreement that is inconsistent with the laws of Nigeria shall be invalid. But at a media briefing in Abuja, Idris said the government found the report as baseless and sensational. The management of Media Trust, publishers of Daily Trust, is yet to respond to the minister's statement. And the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu, has explained that Nigeria signed the Samoan Agreement with the European Union to boost food security and inclusive economic development, amongst other vital areas. He stated this at a press briefing on Saturday in Abuja, clarifying once again that none of the articles of the agreement between Nigeria and the EU showed that the former has recognized lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender rights. Controversy has enveloped the Samoa Agreement signed by the federal government, with many frowning at what they thought was the recognition of LGBT rights by the Nigerian government. The Samoa deal sparked a barrage of reactions online, with many opposing LGBT rights, which is contrary to the anti-same-sex marriages and gay relationships law enacted in 2014 by the then President Goodluck Jonathan. At the press conference, Bagudu, alongside his counterpart in the Ministry of Information, Mohammed Idris, said Nigeria won't enter into an agreement that was anti-ethical to the constitution as well as the religious and cultural sensibilities of the heterogeneous people of Nigeria. The Economic Planning Minister explained that about 200 areas of cooperation were contained in the agreement signed by Nigeria, adding that aside from the agreement, an implementation agreement would be signed in each of the areas of cooperation. And the father of a 400-level computer science student at Al-Kalam University, Katsina, Abdurrahman Adamu Sani, who was stabbed by a youth in Rigachukun community in Igabi local government area, Kaduna State, is seeking justice. Sani alleged that his son was stabbed about 3 times with a knife by a youth in the community. According to him, the incident occurred around 9:30 p.m. on June 26, 2024, as his son was heading home along the Mori Street within the community. Trust TV's Bello Musa visited the family residence of the victim at Rigachukun community in Igabi local government area of Kaduna, from where he sent this report.
This family is still devastated by the unfortunate incident that led to the attack on their son Abdurrahman Adamusani's stores by a youth in the community.
Let the man be punished. Let him know that it is wrong. What is wrong in the boy overtaking him? What the boy's crime? What crime was he? There was threatening to kill him. Because the more he had him, the man had him said, "We will kill you." How? Why? Just overtaking? This is what you call road rage. So you did something very small and somebody is annoyed to the extent that he is carrying a knife with him. You take a knife, you follow somebody, you choke him, rip his stomach, you intend to kill him.
According to the family, Abdurrahman was rushed to the hospital in a cold blood.
Trying to see what's happening. By that time, they have already tore his stomach. His intestines, as I was told, were dangling. The boy is already on the ground. 3 times. They puncture and tore, and they even choked him on the hands, on the thigh with a knife. Then when they realized probably they have finished with him, they entered their car. By that time, people have started gathering. They drove back. They reversed at high speed to the junction of the road and drove off.
I have never experienced this kind of horrific incident before. When we took Abdurrahman to the hospital, his intestines were out, and I thought he would not survive it, but he did. Because as the one who was holding him, I realized he was only crying for help. This is the exact location where Abdurrahman was stabbed and this is the car he was driving when the incident happened. The family said the suspect is still at large despite reporting the incident to the Rigachikun Divisional Police Station.
In the evening, we went to the Rigachikun Police Station and lodged a formal complaint that this called Dirty Sarki, junior brother to this man, has done this. They made us write a statement and sign and everything, and they said they will go and arrest him or whatever it is. They will do their work. That is on Thursday evening. Up to now, we didn't hear anything from them.
Abdurrahman is currently at the hospital receiving treatment.
Ina son a hukunta wanda ya aikata wannan al'amarin.
I want the authorities concerned to take decisive action. We were told that boy has been terrorizing people. We want Abdurrahman's case to be the last.
Ina kiran ga hukumar da duk wanda wannan al'amarin ya shafa.
Justice for Abdurrahman, just like the youth put it on internet, on Instagram, on everywhere. Justice for Abdurrahman. Let this man be brought to court, arrested, tried, and if found guilty, convicted. Because if you don't punish people, they believe they are above the law. We don't want it buried under the carpet. No.
The State Police Command Public Relations Officer ASP Masur Hassan could not be reached to comment on the matter. Bella Musa, Trust TV News Kaduna.
Unrepentant terrorists in Borno State have called on their former colleagues in Sambisa Forest and other territories to surrender and embrace peace. They made the appeal during their reintegration into communities across Borno State. Trust TV's Beatrice Kurisi brings details.
It is an oath taken before an Islamic cleric and those present not to rejoin or engage with Boko Haram terrorists and ISWAP group when integrated in communities. 560 combatant and non-combatant, including top commanders, made this vow with the Quran at the Hajj camp in Maiduguri. They feel delighted to be united with people after undergoing skills acquisition programs. They want those bearing arms to surrender and embrace peace. When we accepted to surrender, we received training in some trade skill for 6 months. Right now, I am training some of my colleagues after I was trained in plumbing. I pray that those in the bush will surrender and join us here to live in peace, because it is progress, and living in peace is above every other thing in life. They should look at us. We are healthy. I appreciate the government for the support given to us. May God bless them. We have sworn an oath to live peacefully and conduct ourselves in line with the spirit and letter of the oath. I call on people to see us as changed people who have laid down arms for good. I also plead with our brothers who still carry arms to surrender and embrace peace.
An opportunity to be integrated. Please do not betray the oath that you have taken, integrated back to society. Whatever you have done in the past, whether with your knowledge or without your knowledge, some of them were adopted as kids and indoctrinated. But whatever happened in the past, after going through this program, we urge you to remain faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Don't go back to this madness again.
As they are reintegrated to their ancestral homes, it is believed that they will not just contribute to socio-economic development, but also be ambassadors of peace. Bitrus Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
This is the news update on Trust TV. Coming up ahead. Nigeria's fashion industry continues to grow in taste and popularity. More of this and, of course, much more when we return. Stay with
This is Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
So the news update on Trust TV. Welcome back. Now a recap of the top stories again. National grid collapses for fourth time in 2024. And federal government talks tough amid backlash from $150 billion Samoa deal. And to other stories now, Guinea corn and wheat are common cereal grains consumed by both children and adults in Nigeria. Many consume them by removing the fiber here in Nigeria. However, a dietitian has urged Nigerians not to remove the fiber as it helps in stabilizing blood sugar levels and aids digestion. Here's the report.
Beyond aiding digestion, consuming wheat and Guinea corn without removing the fiber, nutritionists say helps stabilize blood sugar levels, especially for diabetic patients.
The wheat contains protein called gluten, and this gluten affects individuals that are gluten intolerant or that are non gluten sensitive individuals that react to gluten, especially the people living with celiac diseases. So, because of the protein, some people react to it. So after taking the wheat that contains the gluten, because of the sensitiveness of individual, they tend to constipate.
Residents of Lagos, lamenting the hike in the price grains, ordered that the non-availability of wheat has exacerbated the situation.
We are buying before at the rate of 40. Now we are buying for 4,000. I don't know why the reason the price is like that. Even we are buying bag before, now we are buying plates. Please, we want everything to be coming down. The price is too much.
The price now is really expensive and not everybody have the ability to afford it. So now price of wheat is 4,500 here in Nigeria, while Guinea corn, red and white, they are the same price, 4,500. So now people are finding it very difficult to afford this.
Price of Guinea corn per pint is 4,000. Then one wheat 3,500. People are buying because they don't have choice. They don't have choice. They have to eat. No one is going to stay here and sit down with hungry now.
Wheat and Guinea corn are excellent sources of vitamins and minerals such as potassium, which helps reduce blood pressure, as well as phosphorus, which is essential for healthy bones. Dietitian Osho further said that the fiber in Guinea corn should not be removed, especially when preparing it for children.
It is rich in fiber that help digestive health. Those children won't have to constipate or stew. And also, it helps the beneficial gut bacteria to grow effectively without any challenge. So both adult and children, especially for the diabetic, it's advisable to take more of Guinea corn or sorghum than the wheat.
Wheat and Guinea corn, nutritionists say, are highly nutritious and beneficial for both adults and children, and best enjoyed prepared without removing their fibers.
Nigeria's vibrant fashion scene is a testament to its rich cultural heritage and dynamic creativity. From bold colors and intricate patterns that celebrate tradition to innovative designs that resonate globally, Nigerian fashion is not just a trendsetter, but a cultural ambassador of the international stage. Embracing both heritage and modernity, Nigerian designers redefine African style while influencing global fashion trends with their distinctive flair and creativity. Trust TV's Sumayya Abubakar brings more in this report.
Nigerian fashion is currently undergoing a dynamic transformation, marking a significant departure from previous years when it appeared that the country's diverse cultural expression were overshadowed by Western influences. Many of the fabrics used in Nigerian fashion today are not indigenous to the country, but are imported, reflecting the challenges faced by the dwindling local textile industry. Despite the reliance of imported fabrics, this trend underscores the adaptability and resourcefulness of Nigerian fashion designers and enthusiasts alike.
From what I've seen, I'm really impressed with how far we've gone in the fashion industry, because you see most of these big weddings, before growing up we get to see that most of these designs are imported, but right now you have big fashion houses creating masterpieces for Nigerians and also people in the diaspora.
Fashion in Nigeria has always been a vibrant expression of culture, characterized by bold colors, intricate patterns, and unique silhouette that narrates stories of heritage and individuality. This passionate creativity fuels a thriving fashion industry that not only resonates locally but also influences the global fashion scene.
Nigerian fashion have really progressed. If you look at it the last 10 years ago, you cannot compare what we are able to do then and what we are achieving right now. The way we combine things together gives us a different edge from other places. Before, Nigerians used to travel all the way to Senegal to get things, but now we are competing with them, so we are improving.
The Nigerian industry has grown really well. Like right now you get to see people creating designs for Nigerians and also people in the diaspora. As a matter of fact, people in the diaspora are coming to Nigeria to create designs.
Yeah, Nigerian fashion has evolved in a lot of ways, because I have seen Nigeria move from almost nothing to almost everything in Nigeria. We started from when the whole world doesn't even recognize us when it comes to fashion, but now I am proud to say that Nigeria has gone globally.
Nigerian fashion is a celebration of heritage, and these designs are reshaping African style with a global perspective, pushing boundaries and setting new trends. As Nigerian fashion continues to evolve, Nigerians are not only setting trends but also influencing global fashion, showcasing the unique essence of Nigerian style.
I feel like Nigerian designers, we've carried the whole idea of fashion on our shoulders, and if you go on social media you get to see that almost people from different parts of Africa are dressing the Nigerian fashion because of how much we've imposed ourselves or how much we've expressed ourselves in the fashion industry.
When you look at Nigerian fashion, the way they combine their things, like we do a lot of stonework. If you look at Senegalese stonework, you see that Nigerian stones come out more better, more creative way. If you see clothing that are from Nigeria, they are quite different from what you see from Senegal. Things that comes from Senegal are uniform things, but when you see things from Nigeria, you cannot just but admire them and love them.
As Nigerian fashion continues to evolve, Nigerians are not only setting trends but also influencing global fashion, showcasing the unique essence of Nigerian style.
Looking at the fashion industry now in Nigeria, I think Nigerian fashion industry is one of the leading fashion industry in the whole of Africa, because looking at the way we incorporate the Western culture and also our culture, you find that there's a lot of creativity, and even the Western culture are beginning to copy us.
From the intricate details of traditional attire to the bold statement of modern designs, Nigerian fashion has come a long way. It is a force to be reckoned with on the world stage, captivating audiences with its unique flair and undeniable cultural expression. Sumaya Abubakar, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now there you have it, Nigeria's fashion scene as captured by Sumaya Abubakar. Moving on, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, says Nigeria is committed to the implementation of a single currency for the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. The minister said the single currency ECO would foster economic growth and development in the West African region. According to a statement by Finance Ministry spokesman Mohammed Manga, Edun expressed Nigeria's commitment to the single currency on Thursday when he hosted a virtual high-level committee meeting in Abuja. The meeting brought together key stakeholders from the Central Bank of Nigeria, Minister of Finance of Cape Verde, Olavo Correa, Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs of Côte d'Ivoire, Adama Coulibaly, and the Ghanaian Minister of Finance, Mohamed Amin Adam, among others. The ECO aims to promote economic integration, facilitate trade and enhance monetary stability among the 15 member ECOWAS states. And the military leader of Niger Republic, General Abdurrahman Tiani, on Saturday said his country, along with neighbors Mali and Burkina Faso, have irrevocably turned their backs on the West African bloc, ECOWAS. He disclosed this at the opening of a summit in Niamey between the three Sahelian nations who pulled out of the larger group earlier this year. The president of the ECOWAS Commission, Umar Aliyu Toure, had on Thursday lamented that despite several efforts being made by the regional bloc to bring Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger back to the fold, the trio are not showing any sign of returning. While speaking at the opening ceremony of the 92nd Ordinary Session of the Council of Ministers of the bloc in Abuja, he said ECOWAS was yet to establish a framework for negotiation with the authorities in the three Sahelian countries on their decision to withdraw their membership from the community. On January 28th, the three military juntas in Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger announced they would leave the ECOWAS. And still on the international scene, Britain's new Labour Prime Minister Keir Starmer on Saturday said he was not prepared to continue with the previous Conservative government's flagship scheme to deport migrants to Rwanda. According to Starmer, the Rwanda scheme was dead and buried before it started. Ex-Prime Minister Rishi Sunak staked his political reputation on his plan to stop the boats by pushing the controversial deportation plan despite opposition from rights groups and judicial rulings. Labour, however, said it would jettison the scheme to remove people to Rwanda who crossed the English Channel by boat from northern France. Immigration has become an increasingly central political issue since the United Kingdom left the European Union in 2020, largely on a promise to take back control of the country's borders. Starmer said previously that Sunak's policy was neither a deterrent nor value for money. He has pledged to tackle the issue upstream by smashing the people smuggling gangs behind the crossings. And that wraps up the news update at this hour. Do not forget to follow us across all of our platforms and catch our live stream on YouTube for more news, programs, and documentaries. My name is Sagir Ibrahim. Thank you for watching and join us again.